I'm Patrick Lancaster, and right now we're just outside George Floyd Square in Minneapolis, otherwise known as George Floyd Autonomous Zone. And inside, people have gathered to celebrate the life of George Floyd, because today is the 1-year anniversary of the time when Derek Chauvin, a Minneapolis police officer, held his knee on George Floyd's neck just before he died. And as many of you know, Derek Chauvin went through a trial and was convicted of all 3 counts of manslaughter and murder. We're here today to see what the situation is really like on the ground in George Floyd Square, here 1 year after the fact, after George Floyd lost his life here. So please like this video, share across all social media, and remember, we're totally independent crowdfunding journalists, only supported by you, the viewers. So let's head in to George Floyd Square, or Autonomous Zone, however you want to call it, and see what the situation is really like in there. Can you tell us where we are right now?
We're at George Floyd Square. I'm sitting right in front of where Brother George Floyd was murdered. Today marks his 1-year anniversary of being murdered by the Minneapolis Police Department.
And what does this place mean to you now?
It means everything. You know, it's really been turned into a square of celebrating Black people, celebrating George Floyd's life and legacy. It's very important that we come back and we remember, we never forget, and we continue to fight to make the world a better place, and a place where Black people's humanity can be recognized.
And I've heard this place referred to kind of in 2 different ways, like George Floyd Square and also George Floyd Autonomous Zone. What can you say about those 2?
Say it one more time.
I've heard this place called George Floyd Square and also George Floyd Autonomous Zone.
So it's both. It's both. Interchangeable.
Okay.
Yep. George Floyd Square, and it's an autonomous zone because they don't want the police inside. So that's just describing what they mean by that.
Is this a safe place?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
A safe zone for Blackness to just exist and to be remembered.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we've come inside. Seems a pretty open and happy atmosphere today, actually. Many journalists, many people, not packed, but we're a little bit early today. There's supposed to be some festivities happening through the day, as the last few days. But we're here, and actually this is the exact area that George Floyd was killed here, and actually here another person lost their life to what was referred to as a gang violence after George Floyd was killed. So there's a memorial here, and the George Floyd Memorial, where the location he was killed as well. And supposedly there's been several people killed here in the square since George Floyd was killed. There's still a lot of crime because there is no police inside here. Even this morning there was shots fired. They said it was gang related, not necessarily at someone, but there were shots fired here this morning. Can you please introduce yourself?
Well, hello there. My name is Reverend Tommy Russell. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm born right here. I'm in my 60s, gonna have a birthday in a few days, along with a famous person. His name is Roger Nelson. You know him as Prince. And we went to school together right down 2 blocks right down there. And I love my state, and the gentleman has a couple of questions, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Can you tell us where we are right now?
Well, where we are right now in Minnesota regarding the George Floyd Square, it's still a place of healing and wellness. I know there's been reported trouble up here, but the majority of Minnesotans are coming here to connect with one another and have a place in which they can engage in conversation, peaceful conversation, and peaceful fellowship. And I think that's healthy for our citizens because we're all a little traumatized at the unfortunate murder of Mr. George Floyd.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Right along this spot, because the vehicle would have been there, a little bit further back, but in this area right here, where he was killed. Then the young boy was shot there a few weeks ago. He was killed, and then there were several other people killed. And the unfortunate thing, those officers' behavior, they don't realize the flame that they lit, because unfortunately when violent things happen and people are traumatized, they act out. So we've had several homicides, continued vandalism, fights, even children are being harmed. And this is harming every Minnesotan, and we're not having it. We're just not having it. No, we've got to get, we got to do something about this. Every single Minnesota. This is why I'm so proud of my state. Because trust me, you look around here, there's many white folks up here as black folks. Don't you let them fool you. We are one state here, and we're going to change this concept. We're going to teach our officers. We're not going to defund our police. That's crazy. But we're going to teach them that you're a civilian officer and that you don't get a pass. No, in fact, we're going to hold you to a higher standard. And we're going to make, in Minnesota, we don't know about nationwide, we're going to make you wear them cameras and turn them off. You mess with those cameras, you're going to jail. But for them cameras and that brave girl, there would have been just another black guy that did something that ended up dead. But nobody should die coming in contact with law enforcement and you don't have a weapon. And what about our mentally vulnerable? What about our elderly people? What about people that can't hear? Oh, 85-year-old woman got beat up because she didn't pull over. She didn't have any hearing. We just got to stop with the violence, people, period. I don't care what kind of violence it is. I don't care who's doing it. We got to drop it like it's hot, Mom. It's not good for us as a people. It's certainly not good for our state. And it seems to perpetuate things like that. You know what I mean? Because you know what happens? I'm putting my faith hat on now. The devil gets out there in the middle of everybody, and he loves chaos and stuff, and he creates more havoc. You see what I mean? So I want you to pray, if you don't mind. If you're not a person of faith, fine. Send goodwill to us. Because this violence, these murders, and all this stuff got to stop. We cannot, this is not attainable for any viable nation, state, city, or however. And a police department that does not have the support of you and I is in trouble. So we're going to do this together. We're going to get rid of qualified immunity. We're going to hold these officers accountable. We're going to have them turn them things on. We're going to have special officers come and ride with them when there's a vulnerable person in place. And nobody, no officer, every officer is going to have to write a report when they pull that gun or that taser at all, right then. And you don't get to look at the film or nothing like that. You're going to tell the truth. Or we're not hiring cowards. Goodbye, we'll pay your salary. We don't care what it costs. You won't be able to be a police officer nowhere in Minnesota. Because we're not going to continue to have unarmed citizens die at the hands of police officers. Not just because nobody wants to die, but we got 77,000 police officers. What about their lives? Because of a few goons, somebody come along and murder another good cop. You understand me? Well, that's what we're hiring. Professional police officers, not cowards. And nobody in the United States is above the law, and no one should get a pass. Qualified immunity. Did we vote for that? I didn't vote for that. I don't remember that. Somebody told me yesterday that we voted for that. I don't believe that. Do you?
I want police to live in my community, too. I want people who know the neighborhood.
Say it again. That's another thing. In certain cities, like you cannot work as a police officer in certain cities in Minnesota unless you live there. So you're going to come into our community, hide behind the badge, a coward, beat up girls, kill people indiscriminately who are unarmed. Then first thing you do is run blame a person that can't speak for themselves, they're dead, or that's incapacitated, and then run to blaming the victim is not helping you. Well, now, in the age of technology, cell phones, brave citizens like yourself, y'all just not having it. It's not that you hate police officers, that's a lie. That's another thing I wish they stopped saying. We do not hate our officers. Black and brown people call the same 911 number as anybody else. What we want is you to come there and do no harm, especially if nobody can harm you. We're not hiring cowards. Why is it that everybody, people that come in contact with law enforcement that are not armed end up dead? Well, to all Minnesotans, that's a good question. But now they clearly see the proof, which means video proof. Oh, Minnesota not having it. We're just not having it. But I agree with her. You work in that community, you need to be, if you're a police in the city of Minneapolis, you need to live in the city of Minneapolis. And I think we need to pay our officers enough money when working on part-time jobs, getting all stressed out. Officer Chavez knew Mr. Floyd. Mr. Floyd was his boss. He didn't like him because the white girl was giving Mr. Floyd eyeballs. He had to give the man his check and stuff. I discovered that. And Mike Freeman is a former police officer, and I'm glad he's not in charge of prosecuting anybody. Because he seems to be trying to find something that the person did wrong. Every time he gets his messed up self in something, we get no conviction. Well, I'm glad for Keith Ellison, because I'm sorry. We gave Mr. Freeman a chance. I voted for the white boy twice.
He's a goner.
He got to go. How is it that the Attorney General can come along and get a conviction and not find some way to blame the victim, and you can't, and we all elected you? It would sound like you related to Trump or something, man. Get out of here. All right, guys.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Joshua Brown. I'm Stillwater, Minnesota.
What are you doing here today?
I'm showing my respects. It wouldn't be my first time here, but I was here a year before. You know, because I believe in justice and equal rights for anybody. It doesn't matter what color, height, you know, short, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to, as you can tell my shirt, you know. But I'm just here to pray over everybody who has lost somebody, and that, you know, that we need to, the communities to come together, and you know that police officers need to be held accountable either way. You know, when it doesn't matter. Sorry, it's my first time doing this.
No problem at all.
But anything else you'd like to ask me?
No, can you explain your shirt a little bit, actually?
Well, I'm against racism for one. You know, I grew up in in St. Paul my life, and I always had best friends of different backgrounds. I never saw them as a color. I always saw them as my friends, no matter what. And we always, we need to unite and fight together as one, instead of, you know, what's going on today, you know. So I just hope for better days to come, and that we can all come together as one.
Alrighty, so cool. Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem, man.
Don't forget why you here. Don't forget why you here. We are not here just to make money. We are not here just to be your propagandas on your news cameras. We are here to celebrate a one-year anniversary of a black man getting lynched on the corner of this corner.
Yes.
So like I said, don't forget why you guys are here. Don't forget why we are here, why we are fighting.
Yes.
We didn't do the looting and rioting for a guilty yet. There has not been a sentence yet. We still waiting on that. So when y'all coming out here trying to sell these Black Lives Matter t-shirts, but don't give 2 F's of Black Lives Die every day, you guys are the pro-fakers. Now I hope you guys don't make $1 today. And do not support these businesses that don't support black. Just because you got a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on, don't mean nothing. Nothing at all. Don't forget why you here. Don't forget why you here. Because the pain that we experience from seeing George die. Now we've been out here since day one. We've been out here since day one.
Amen.
We've been here since day one. Right? When George died, we couldn't sleep at night. We couldn't sleep. We was out here 24 hours a day. You think about that task. 24 hours a day. Because we seen somebody that got wrongly abused, lynched on our same corners we walk on every day. Now we hold this space, and we've been doing it for a whole year now. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up. No, man, I ain't hearing it enough. Hold on. If you ain't focused on this right here, you focus on the wrong stuff. Y'all came out here for the wrong stuff. We showing appreciation for the ones that been out here for a whole year.
Yes, sir.
And before that. And after that. Because we do this. This is a neighborhood. So thank you guys for coming. But we're not your propagandists. All right? We're not your propagandists. We came here. We've been doing justice for change. Change. And Minnesota been leading the way, baby. We've been leading the way. Give it up for Minnesota. 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 What's his name? 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 Come on now. Give it up one time. Give it up 2 times. 2 times. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Because one thing about us, I'm going to take y'all a little scoop. One thing about us black folks, the trauma has not stopped after George Floyd died.
No.
We lost 4 people in this square since George Floyd died. So when I tell y'all, we going through it. And when y'all say y'all just coming, and y'all going just for the show and tell of things, and y'all just tourism, y'all gotta realize there's people out here every day allowing y'all to do what y'all doing right now. We created this space for black folks. Because a black man died right here. So we represent this. We represent this. We represent this. We represent this. Who represent this? We do. Who represent this? We do. Come on now, come on now. Hey, are y'all celebrating? Because we in that church. And we ain't on no Zoom meeting. Who changes this? 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 Black lives matter. 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 Now where my black man at? My black man, y'all come forward. Y'all come to the front line. Where my black man at? Hey, what's up, my black man? Y'all come forward. Y'all come forward. Where my black man at? Hey, Mark, come on. Come on. Come on, Mark. Where my black man at? Come on, black man. Come on. Come on. Oh, I said black. Come on, buddy. Come on, black man. Come on. Over here. Where my black man at? Where my black man at? Come on. Where my black man at? Come on, brother. Come on. Where my black man at? Where my black man at? Where my black man? Hey, my brother. Come on. Where my black man at? Come on, brother. Where my black man at? Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Hey, brother, stop eating. Come up here, brother. Come up here. Come up here, brother. Come on, brother. You ain't coming to eat. You ain't coming to eat. You ain't come up here to eat. George Floyd could have been you. George Floyd could have been you. Come up here, my brother. Come up here, my brother. Come on, my brother. Come on, my brother. Step on the line. Come on, my brother. Come on, my kid. Y'all understand when we said the brother call, y'all gotta come. George Floyd could have been me. George Floyd could have been me. George Floyd could have been me. want to teach my brothers right now. George Floyd, before he was dead, he was looked at as a drug addict. He looked at it as a dismantling life, low income. But when he died, what did he look like? A king.
Yeah.
That's a giant. That's a king. I look at everybody like a king. You ain't no threat to you. I ain't no threat to you. I ain't no threat to you. We gotta come together for George. 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 Because Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Hold on. Let my man say it one time. I want to hear them voices. Black Lives Matter. 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 Fist in the air one time. Fist in the air one time. Fist in the air one time. Like I said, we are a threat in every building that we walk in by the color of our skin. We have no business hating each other. We have no room hating each other at all. You should, if you're in a room by yourself with a full of white folks, and you got one other brother in the room, you should feel like, hey, brother, you on my side.
On my side.
Because Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Now, what's his name? George Floyd. What's his name? George Floyd. What? Power to the people. 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 Let's go. Go, we're celebrating today. 1 year victory. We got 490 more years to go. But change started right here. Change started right here. Change started right here. Put it up for Minnesota one more time. Minnesota one more time. Let's go, Minnesota. Let's go, y'all. What's his name? George Floyd. 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 Ain't no justice. No peace. 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 We did not loot. We did not riot for a guilty verdict. Nope. We rioted and looted for change. We lied. We did that for our ancestors. We paid our dues on the stuff we've supposed to be doing to stand up for this country that we represent. What is Black history? That's American history. American history is Black history. Without America, it won't be. Without the black dollar, it won't be no America. Won't be no. Come on now. Let's go, y'all. Hey, we coming together. This is a symbol of change. And don't come to the square if you ain't trying to change. Don't bring that negativity to this square. Because we here for change. We here for change. We here for change. We here for change. What we here for? 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 What we want? What we want? What we here for? What we want? What we here for? What we want? What we here for? And change starts with us. 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 No, y'all ain't saying a lot of that. I'm losing my voice. Y'all losing your voice yet? Change starts with us. Come on, where my sisters at? I ain't hearing y'all back there. I ain't hearing y'all back there. Come on. Change starts with us. Change starts with us. Change starts with us. If we ain't got us, baby, you can't do it. You can't fight this fight by yourself. Ain't no unity, daddy. Unity is the community. Yes, sir. Unity is the community. Oh. What we want? Change. What we want? Change. What we want? Change. All we got to lose is the change from our ankle. Let's go, y'all. Let's keep it up, y'all. Let's keep it up, y'all. Clap it up for George. Get it, y'all.
Well, that is the first look here at George Floyd Square Autonomous Zone 1 year after the fact. We're gonna call it for now so we can get this report out to you as fast as possible, and then there'll be more to come. So please like this video, share it across all social media, and comment below what you think